Hey, how you doing? Austin Hilton here. This is an update video for Palantir. This is going to cover about 3 or 4 main areas. There's I want to talk about the earnings date that's coming. I want to talk about 2 or 3 pieces of new news that I've got for you, as well as discuss a few different things around this particular stock. You guys know me from my channel. I am extremely bullish on Palantir long term. I think that this is a $40 to $50 stock inside of a year and north of 100 2 or 3 years out from there. I do own this stock and I'm extremely bullish on it. Before we get started, remember this video is for entertainment purposes only, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I bring Palantir videos pretty much every week, at least a couple of times a week, keep you updated. It's one of my favorite stocks, and I'm always constantly out scouring the new, looking for new news and information about this particular stock, this company. I'm a firm believer in this company and where they're headed and what they're doing, their technology, and how they are a major player in government side as well as commercial, private sector. I'm just a huge overall fan. Also, please drop a like on this video if you get value out of it. I would greatly appreciate it. That helps the video to rank, it helps me to grow the channel and all that kind of stuff, and I would greatly appreciate it. So here's what we're going to be covering in today's video. We're going to take a real quick look at the stock. It's up a little bit today. Yay. We seem to be kind of maybe hopefully bouncing back up. Actually, the NASDAQ, when I looked a minute ago, was flat and actually down a little bit. I think it's maybe now come back and it's just running flat. We're also going to talk about, before we get started, we're going to talk about, I did see some information the other day that potentially Palantir is working with AT&T and maybe even Facebook, but I don't know if they're ever going to formally announce that. Facebook will most likely not want their name attached with Palantir because of sometimes the negative press that surrounds it, and they're very very touchy about their data because they got caught with their hand in the proverbial cookie jar back in the day. So I don't know if there's any credence to those particular two companies working with Palantir. It's just something that I saw the other day. I thought I'd let you know. It's something that I did see. It kind of went, okay, cool. And again, I don't know if they are doing a deal with AT&T, if that will come out or not. But it's just something that's speculative that I saw the other day that I thought I would let you know about. Yeah. So with that said, let's go take a look at what I've got from you for Palantir moving forward. So in looking at their chart today, you can see that the stock has opened, and it opened at 21.90 and it's went up to 22.51, and we are back almost now to our current levels. So looking at a 6-month chart, again, we're still kind of running at the same scenario where we are sitting at that $21, $22 range is really our support level. I've said this numerous times. We need to get above 25. Once we get above 25, I believe that that's kind of our next resistance level, and once we get above 25, we should be off and running. As you guys know, that if you follow Palantir, I've said this in my previous videos, I am a major fan of the company, but they do have, there is very strong bearish sentiment around this and very strong bullish sentiment around it. In fact, one of the pieces of information I've got for you today is an options news article talking about kind of some of the options play going on with the company, so I thought that was relevant. It did specifically meant that there are some significant shorts coming in, option shorts. So we're going to look at that here in a moment. But the long and the short of it is that I believe in this company long term. I think it's a good play. It's a core part of my holdings, and to me, these guys are going to be the major player in AI, data management, and analytics, and just overall what they do is the best in my opinion, and I'm here for the long term. But right now we've got some short-term pressure on the stock, and it could last us for another month or two, and the stock could kind of languish where we're at. So if you've got to kind of know that, and know that that's part of the process right now as it relates to Palantir. So just FYI. Okay, so I wanted to look and show you real quickly, in case you didn't know this, the earnings date for Palantir is May 18th. That is a catalyst event. We could get some run up, associated with the earnings. They are definitely on track to beat expectations. I've got another article to be the last one I'll show you that does dive into a little bit of kind of some of their numbers and things like that. We're going to look at that here in a moment. Okay, so let me show you real quickly this particular piece of article. I saw this. I thought this was interesting. This was a formal announcement between Palantir and a company called Ringier. I hope I'm saying that right. Ringier. They are based out of Switzerland. They are one of Switzerland's most innovative and iconic companies, and they are in the basically journalism media scenario. So they have announced the extension of their relationship with Palantir. So Ringier embarked on an additional digital transformation plan more than a decade, embracing the shift from legacy newspaper business into a diversified digital-first global media company through significant investments in technology and skills. Okay, real quickly, they basically what they do, if you didn't know it, they operate in Europe, Asia, Africa. They include 125 subsidiaries in print, digital media, radio, ticketing, entertainment, e-commerce sectors, and leading online marketplace for cars, property, and jobs. I thought that was pretty impressive that this particular company is working with Palantir, leveraging Foundry, you know, the platform for commercial businesses. And it looks like right here, like Blick.ch, one of Switzerland's top digital properties, up to 85% of the newsroom team looks at Foundry every day to analyze readership and performance and set goals associated with these analytics. That's pretty cool. You know, so I just thought that this was, again, a piece of positive news. Is it enough news to move the stock? No, of course not. But it is positive news about a major, you know, global media company that operates in Europe, Asia, Africa, that is extending their relationship with Palantir and continuing to move forward. We all know that the bears beat up Palantir, that they're not, you know, that they're not growing their commercial side of the business fast enough. That will come. You know, they got 17 plus years with, you know, kind of runway and traction with, you know, selling to government and the military, and that's going to continue to grow. Overall, you know, profitability is going to continue to grow, and revenues will continue to grow. We've talked a lot about how that works. Okay, so I want to show you this real quickly. Mention this. This is talking specifically about options. And you know, you guys know I don't talk a lot about options here on the channel. I do a little bit of option trading, but historically I've been just pretty much a straight stock ETF guy. But I thought that the reason I'm bringing this to you, though, is I thought this was very interesting. Option bulls are unfazed by Palantir's stock recent struggles. The equity boasts cheap options too. So over the past 6 months, Palantir's managed to tack on 126.7, and option traders are paying close attention to the equity. Okay, so traders have speculated on a lot of upside for Palantir stock. In fact, Palantir has found itself on Schaefer's senior quantitative analyst Rocky White's list of stocks that have attracted the highest weekly options volume within the past 2 weeks. According to this data, there's been over 1 million calls and 223 puts were exchanged over this 2-week period, which is good enough for third place on his list. So it's a highly traded option scenario. So let me show you this real quickly. Today, the security is seeing right around the industry average volume from both sides of the aisle. So far, 2,000 calls and 66,000 puts have exchanged hands, etc., etc., etc. Again, this shows that option traders are speculating on more upside for the stock by the time of these options expire by the end of the week. Again, I thought that was really relevant. Again, right here, this is relevant too. Shorts are piling on at the moment, with short interest up 27% during the most recent reporting period, and 57.7 million shares sold. Short represents 4.3 of the stock's available float. At Palantir's stock average pace of trading, it would take about a day to buy back these bearish bets. Again, we know that there is pressure on this stock, and that speaks directly to part of it right there. There's a lot of short interest in the stock right now. Again, it is what it is, right? Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just bringing you the information. But I thought that this was relevant. It says that options traders are very bullish on it, but it also gave us some insight a little bit into the fact that there is some shorts. Obviously, there is some shorts, you know, going on at the time, right? We know that, okay? But I wanted to bring it to you because I thought that it was relevant information to kind of give you, again, my view. My goal with this news, guys, is real simple. It's to let you know about some of the latest and greatest info, positive and negative, that's going on with the business. Okay, so you need to know these things. Okay, all right. Finally, I want to wrap up with this particular piece of information. This dives a little bit into the numbers and some projections. This particular individual is saying that that the stock could rise 87% in 3 years to 41, 46. I think it's going to happen faster. My personal opinion. And so we're going to take a look real quickly at this piece of information. The company is projecting its revenue will grow to $4 billion by 2025. We already knew this based on the company projections. You should expect to see Palantir stock rise at 35% annually over the next 3 to 5 years. He's going very, very by the book and kind of looking and diving into, how the numbers will shake out, very much of the valuations, okay? Since Palantir made 1.1 in sales last year, this implies revenue will grow to 3.63 times and 4.5 times at $5 billion. Assuming the revenue is $5 billion by 2025, this works out to 35.4 annualized compound growth. This is a very high growth rate and a sign of a very confident company. I agree. Okay, we all agree on that scenario. Okay. All right, let me get right here. Okay. Palantir projects that its 2021 revenue will exceed 30% growth year over year, and its Q1 21 revenue growth will grow by 45% year over year. Okay, this exceeds the company's implied 35% annualized growth rate. In other words, the company believes it is on track to meet its growth targets. I would say that they're on track to exceed their growth targets. More importantly, Palantir also projects that its Q1 2021 adjusted operating margin will rise to 23%. This is lower than the adjusted margin of 32% in Q4, but significantly higher than the average 2020 margin of 17%. Again, we know that the bears beat us up on the operating margin. They really beat us up on two fronts. They beat us up on that we don't have enough commercial, private sector clients as of yet, and that the margins are not there. So this is a scenario where it is lower than the adjusted operating margin for Q4, but it's going to be higher than 2020's overall margin. It's trending in the right direction. Okay. So the reason this is important is that if Palantir's sales keep growing at a growth rate of 35% rate and its operating margins rise by 35%, expect to see dollar profits to skyrocket. That will feed directly through to a higher Palantir stock price. Okay, overall, again, I think that where we're at is we're kind of in the scenario where the stock is moving not a lot. There's not a lot of movement in it. Let's see if now it's actually trading down a little bit. Okay, so this is part of the equation, guys. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. If you're a Palantir investor, you know that this is kind of where we're at. We've got to break through that $25 range, and we get past that $25 range, we are going to, I firmly believe, continue to go up. We are going to have pullbacks in this stock. It's going to happen. I'm viewing this as a 12-month plus. Actually, I'm viewing it as a longer initial 12 months, but I'm viewing it as a 3, 5, 10-year stock investment. I've absolutely added shares at this level because I firmly believe in this company long term. This is one of my core stocks that I believe that is just going to do very, very, very well. I think this company is exceedingly very good at what they do, and I'm here for the long term. So let's wrap up with a few final thoughts. I don't have a lot to say that I haven't already said. You guys know that I'm very bullish on this company, and I think that it's going to be a little bit of a rough ride in the short term. 1 month, 3 month. It could go into the summer. We've just got to get some more catalyst coming from a positive news standpoint, and we've got to get the bearish sentiment moved away from the stock. We got to get the short guys to move on to something else. Wish they would, but that's where we're at right now. And again, I'll go back to the fact that Kathy Wood and ARK have a tremendous amount of investment in this company. We see that the company is definitely putting together commercial deals. The extension with the company Ringier to extend their deal. We see that, and I think more news will come out. Again, it was speculative. I just saw the stuff about AT&T and Facebook. Is that real? I don't know. I can't validate that. I looked and tried to get, but I thought it was interesting enough to note that it could be a possibility. Will we ever see official news on that? Your guess is as good as mine, right? But I'm just thought I would mention it, and there again, it's speculative. I saw a article on it, but there was point blank no validation to it. There wasn't anything, you know, concrete to back it up, right? So I just want to you guys know, I want to just let you know straight up that's what I saw. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, a lot of things moving. We've got earnings coming up on May 18th. Hopefully that's going to be a tremendously positive catalyst for us, and maybe enough to get us over the $25 range and get us out of this and moving forward, because we're stuck right now and we need to get we got to have some catalyst to move us forward. All right, hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. So take care.